Welcome to the porch. Pull up a chair, sit back, relax, enjoy the show. Now here's your host, Michelle Barras and Brian Swanson.
Hello.
Welcome to the porch. Well, the proverbial porch.
I like that rock-in, man. That gets the blood a pump and get you ready for some excitement.
It is. It's a really good song. Good job, Brian.
Yay. So, what are we here to talk about? Oh, we got to do the intro. Hi, I'm Brian Swanson.
And I'm Michelle Barras.
And we're Denim and Pearls. We are business casual.
With pearls of wisdom from the proverbial porch. Thank you so much for joining us today because our topic is, you ready for this? We're going to do this in unison. Ready? Peanut butter jelly. Oh. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly and a baseball bat.
Sorry. I was not prepared for that one.
Just completely left me hanging. I understand why you are. Well, we're talking about peanut butter and jelly, two things that just go marvelously together. And let's see how we end up working with this because we wanted something fun to talk about. And one of the things we tend to talk about when you're hanging out on the porch and having a good time with people is food.
Food.
Well, hello, Lori. She has not seen us for a while. Nice to see you. And hi. Michael noticed the new intro. Thank you so much. And our producer put up our YouTube page. Thank you for joining us, producer. Since
and producer's yelling at me because I hit the phone to share and it started playing. But the important part is we weren't saying anything important at the time.
We love you too. Thanks for joining us. And the producer has also said, what was that, Brian? Yeah, you're in trouble.
Yeah,
anyways,
I'll share later.
Thank you so much for joining us on the proverbial porch because we are talking about our favorite topics because no matter what happens, when things go chaotic, when things are wild, when you get really tired, it comes down to food. Because as we were sitting on that porch some days, we'll sit there do.
Well, wait a second. I mean, I really want to talk about food because we got some really cool things. And I know there's people out there that have different ideas than we do about what's good and what's not. Yes. I kind of put that to the test on the Facebook last night, I think, about peanut butter and ... Yeah, I got some interesting ones. Peanut butter and onion sandwiches.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that one.
Is it red onions or white onions?
They didn't specify. Either way, it doesn't sound good.
And I'm imagining like pearl onions in a bowl of like peanut butter pudding mixed in. And I'm like, oh.
Ew. No, we're talking sandwiches. But anyway, I think the beauty about food, before we get into all those different types, the beauty about food is it brings us together. I mean, there's that thing, of breaking bread and friendship and all that other, that other good stuff that goes along with it. And you really can't how much business is done across food?
A lot.
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's that concept of breaking bread together and sharing that camaraderie and sharing that friendship and, hey, sign the contract.
Well, and that's why we wanted to talk about food is because people think, oh, it's a business subject and you have to keep business and business. No, business is real life. I mean, we eat during business. We make arrangements and decide if we like someone by the way they treat the wait staff when you're at a restaurant. I mean, food is a really big deal around business. And although it's a fun peanut butter jelly time topic we have here, it's actually a very serious topic around fun.
Well, I've also heard it too, where, these executives, the CEO will hire their second in command or something like that. So they're doing interviews and the guy puts, he comes up, they sit down, the meal comes and he puts salt and pepper on his steak before he even tastes it. That could lose him a job, because they say that you got to at least find out where you're at before you doctor something.
Yeah, before you start, fixing it up.
Right. So there's a lot of, I've heard that story. I can't tell you how many times somebody lost their interview because of throwing salt and pepper on before they took a bite out of their steak or steak sauce, whatever. But yeah, so food
I got a job from the kind of drink I drink.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
What was that?
I drink whiskey and Dr. Pepper with 3 cherries.
How does that get you a job?
I ordered it during a meal when we were talking about proposing a job. And the person said, "You drink the same thing I drink." Good woman. Hired.
That was a shot in the dark.
No, they already knew me. But
Oh, okay.
the way I ate, what I ate and what I drank, what I preferred was, okay, you're on the same wavelength with me. It's one of those kind of things that we use with food.
So,
Well,
okay. So now that we talked about all the important business kind of stuff with it,
yeah,
let's get to the fun stuff. So I put on my Facebook last night about peanut butter, and I heard a couple of the same things: peanut butter and bananas. Comfort food, right? I mean, that's not so bad. Peanut butter and celery. Okay. But peanut butter and onions, like we mentioned a minute ago.
I'm messing with her about that. Peanut butter and cinnamon is yummy.
I had never heard that. Peanut butter and cinnamon. What was the other one? Peanut butter and brown sugar.
Mm-hmm. But it doesn't have to be peanut butter. What kind of food do you like that you go to depending on your emotional state? When I feel childlike, I like a big spoon of peanut butter, and I'll sit it just like, you know, when your mom used to make cake or whatever, and you have the batter thing, just.
Yep. So if I want to ask that people I want to see some of your ideas out here on the comments and stuff too. What is your comfort food? Is it ice cream? Particular kind of ice cream? Is it ice cream and something else? You know, I don't know. There's plenty of stuff out there. I'm thinking, I'm loving that big picture of that burger that Nicholas sent us last night that, you know, they called it salad.
It was like rib, steak, you know, ribeye, no, brisket, and it was like that big.
Yep, my attempt at a salad.
Failed miserably. Now, my thing is then let's start the conversation with us. When you are nervous about something, Brian, what's your comfort food? What's your go-to?
I would have to probably say chocolate.
What kind of chocolate?
I'm a peanut butter Reese's kind of guy. So that or a Snickers. But if it's at night, for some reason, they've got a new, I love ice cream, but they've got it's not really new. I guess it's been around a little while, but it's a Snickers ice cream bar.
Oh. It started hurting.
It's fantastic, you know, because it's frozen and it is. It's comfort, you know, it's comfortable. But I think a lot of my stuff is based, because I just love food anyway. So I think a lot of my stuff is based on what's available.
Well, Nathan doesn't show in the post here, but Nathan just commented, he says, "I think I know where you're going with this, but he likes peanut." Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
He says they go better with bacon, and then he wrote peanut butter and tuna sandwich. No. We're not here to judge, but Nathan, we might judge.
Peanut butter and tuna?
He's doing that to mess with us because he knows I have no poker face, and there's no way that I can do peanut butter and tuna and not react. I'm going to do.
Ew.
So
now,
your big comfort food is like a Snickers bar ice cream, basically.
Right. I mean, it depends on how bad the situation is. If it's a bad situation, it's a bowl of ice cream, and I don't care what it is.
My go-to, and it sounds really strange, when I'm worried about something I don't really want to eat, but my go-to when I'm worried about something is kosher pickles, cream cheese wrapped in salami.
I love this, but I never make them. I always see them at an event of some sort.
When you come to my house, I always have a big jar of pickles, and I always have salami. Well, the dried beef, and I always have cream cheese because I'm always ready to eat that. I don't know why, but it's a comfort thing for me when I'm anxious. I don't want to sit and eat a bowl. I want to like nervously eat, and it works because it's got the crunch.
So do you do that because just for fun and comfort? What would you use if you close a big deal? Let's say it's a $40,000 deal, you sign in and you never expected it and you're gonna celebrate.
I go big and loud. I go for ribeye. I love ribeye. Yeah, when I'm
Nice.
celebrating, it's ribeye. But if it's like my birthday and I'm celebrating life, I want crab. But not any crab. Only the crab from my home. I like Dungeness crab. It's from the Philippines, the big fat meaty ones. That's
Right.
what I want. And I can't get it in Colorado. So I haven't celebrated correctly since I moved here without going to a beach. So COVID's kind of messing up my celebrations because I need to find a Dungeness crab. My husband's been really sweet. He's been finding me, the big king crab legs and things, and those are yummy. But I like the bodies. I'm a Filipina. I like the body of the crab, and that's what I want.
I don't know. I don't think I've ever had a Dungeness. I don't think I ever have. I mean, I've seen them. Don't get me wrong, but
stick with me, kid. You'll have Dungeness eventually because I love it.
Don't they just normally bread those or something? There's like a stuffing in them.
No, that's because American crabs are small.
Oh.
Philippine crabs are big and meaty. They're a meal in them, 2 meals in themselves. So that's what I go for when I'm celebrating. It tends to be seafood. And
now, my daughter and my wife like the crab legs, the king crab legs. Of course, my wife likes the lobster tail too, but when she wants, like for my daughter's birthday, they go out for king crab. They want crab legs, and the more the better. So if you can find a decent buffet, not everybody can make good crab legs. They can't. It can actually be ruined. But yeah, that's what they like. I know the daughter definitely likes crab legs.
Okay, so when you're celebrating, it's big. When you're nervous, we have that. What's the other emotion we eat for?
That big deal didn't go through.
Okay, if your big deal didn't go through, what would you go for?
I think I skip the food and go to beer.
It's food. There's wheat in there. There's barley.
There's something to say about there's something to say. Yeah, I saw that about
it doesn't exist anymore.
I don't think it does. No, I don't think so. But there's something to say about beer and, fried food from the bar.
Oh, really?
It has its place.
Okay.
The fried mushrooms and maybe if you go to a good restaurant or good bar, maybe fried calamari, which I love, by the way. There's all kinds of stuff there that can drown your sorrows within.
Drown your sorrows. And the thing is when I'm depressed, I don't want to eat at all.
Well, yeah, okay, fair enough.
I think I might have like a Dove piece of something, but no, I don't tend to eat when I'm depressed. That's how you know something's really wrong, when I'm not hungry at all.
Right.
Yeah, but I tend to always be hungry.
You're always hungry, but you don't eat enough to do anything.
I eat like a bird. I just constantly eat. But I can't think of anything I would eat when I'm depressed except nothing. Yeah, I just won't.
Yeah.
Does tea count? I love tea.
Okay.
Okay, wait. My biggest comfort food when I want to feel loved and appreciated and at home, all the Filipinos out there, whoop, whoop. I want garlic rice, longanisa, or, tinola, not tinola, tocino, which is sticky meat from the Philippines. It's red and it's sticky. And then you have the garlic rice, and then you have a fried over easy egg. And then you have chopped up onions and tomatoes with some vinegar, coconut vinegar, and you eat it with your hands. And it's so good.
We were talking about it last night. What's the sweet rice and the mango? Is there a name for that, or just sweet rice and mango?
I only know it as sweet rice and mango.
I didn't know if it had a formal name or not.
No, I mean, so I have a lot of comfort foods that I just like to eat, and I don't eat them often, but they tend to be Filipino.
Yeah. So what's your idea of a barbecue then?
Of a barbecue?
Yeah.
You do know I'm a Filipino, right?
I know.
Yeah.
But you're also American too.
I like meat on a stick at barbecues. And if I don't bring it, then it doesn't tend to exist there. But we like to eat. Filipinos like to eat. We know how to party and we know how to do things big. So barbecues to me, but I do like meat on a stick. It's like really thin barbecue, like beef or whatever, or pork, and they've marinated it for days, and then you skewer it, and I like food.
Okay. Well, let's do our commercial and come back with some of those more interesting ones.
What commercial?
Our new commercial.
You want to show the new commercial?
I think so.
Okay.
The newer commercial.
Okay, you ready for this? It's the
All right, here we go, folks.
Live today, our brand new. This is not new. This is.
No, it's been showed once, I think.
Okay. Well, thank you for watching Denim and Pearls. Thank you for joining us. And if you are watching this live, please share the live stream with your friends because they got to be here too. We would love to hear what your favorite food is and when you eat it and what you want to eat it for, because it's just a fun conversation. And then we'll come back around to why we're talking about food. So if you are interested in being a sponsor on the Denim and Pearls page, please write the Denim and Pearls blah, 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 blah. Here it is. Down here on the bottom to advertise, contact Denim and Pearls podcast at gmail.com. And until then, enjoy our commercial. Thank you for joining us on the porch. We share the nuances and lessons we've garnered from throughout our combined 40 years of life experiences. Talk from the porch is always serious, but full of laughter. And we're glad you're here with us. Like, share with a friend, and please subscribe to our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. And remember, join the conversation every Friday at noon Mountain Time. We'll see you on the porch. I like the new music.
Uh-huh.
And I'd like to say a shout out to Helene has just joined us to say hello. And of course, Nathan is definitely watching on the other page. And if you are and Gregory is also watching. If you are watching and you're writing comments on my personal page, jump over to the Denim and Pearls podcast page on Facebook or on YouTube so that we can see your comments. We would love to recognize you and address whatever you want to talk about right here live on TV. Because see, like we have Lorelai says she loves us, but she's on the Denim and Pearls page. So please come on over so we can see what you're saying. I keep looking down because I'm watching all of you.
Yeah, someday we'll have a producer.
Yeah.
One that sits there and does all the technical stuffs for us.
And Nicholas is asking us, what is the lesson from the porch today? The lesson on the porch today is
peanut butter.
Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly. Because Brian loves peanut butter.
Well, it's not just peanut butter. We came up with the topic because you asked me, what's our topic this week? What was my response? What was my very first response to that?
Nothing business. I want to do something fun.
I said spam. Oh,
he did say spam. And I love spam. So
I was trying to figure out what all to do with spam. When I've come to this conclusion that it's universal. You can do almost anything you want to with spam. Now I know there's people out there that are going, ugh.
We're not them. We love spam.
But isn't spam and pineapple like a Hawaiian thing? Is that truly Hawaiian, or is that just something that he made up?
Musubi.
What's that?
Musubi is like a block of rice, and then they have like an oyster sauce, and then they put a fried piece of spam on it, and then sometimes they'll put a fried egg in there too, and then they wrap it with seaweed. You can also put a slice of pineapple in there. It's just delicious. But it is. I grew up on an island, and we didn't have cows and things that America has, so we had chickens, ducks, goats. You don't eat carabao. So our bigger meat source was spam. It never rots. And it's 120 degrees, so you never really have to keep it refrigerated. So it was the perfect food.
Yeah.
Oh, and
Nicholas said we need an engineer. I already have a producer.
Yes, that's true. We have a producer. We need someone to run the board for us. But peanut butter and jelly time. It's basically what do you like? What feeds your soul? And we're talking not just your soul, but what feeds you in the different emotional states you're in that you need help to soothe your soul, and what feeds you physically, mentally.
Oh, you got deep on this one.
I did, because he likes ice cream, and
But I'm thinking a cold day, because we are in winter. I'm thinking a cold day, and I love what I call a Midwestern chili.
what's that?
Well, it's like kidney beans and hamburger and tomato base with all kinds of spices and everything else.
So what the rest of us call chili?
Well, not everybody calls it chili because they confuse it with like the green chili sauces.
Oh, well, see,
So
and
that's why
chili is what you just described.
Yeah.
And
Some people like it with like venison in it or sausage in it or hamburger in it. I like my chili hot beans, you know.
I have a friend who used to put hamburger in it, and then she'd pour it over spaghetti.
That would be spaghetti, wouldn't it?
It was chili.
Chili on spaghetti, that works.
It's so yummy. She made me have it. I was kind of grossed out, but it was really yummy. Now, and Helene says she likes root beer. Helene, what's your favorite food that you like to eat?
Yeah. Another one too is when I was down in Arkansas, and then Julie brought it up after we were married and everything, is Frito pies.
It's the same thing. It's Frito pie with spaghetti.
Right. Well, you take the chili, you open up a bag of Fritos, the small snack size, and then you pour the chili in top. You don't even have to use a bowl. You just pour the chili on top of the Fritos, go to town.
Yeah.
Oh, delicious.
Well, one of the favorite things I loved eating when we were in, when I was in Turkey, was Turkey has these stands on the side of the road, you know, like vendor cart kind of things. And they had baked potatoes, huge baked potatoes. And you could go through and they pop it open for you. And you could put anything in it. And they would put, you know, spaghetti sauce and then cheese. And then they would say, would you like some, you know, macaroni? And then they would just put all sorts of ham and you name it. Everything was in there. And this potato was huge and mounted over. It looked a mess, but it is delicious.
I actually thought you were going to say shawarma, and I was going to start drooling.
Well, that too.
I love shawarma.
So our producer says comfort food versus favorite food versus fun food. Eggs and chili, Helene. Yes, I do like eggs.
Oh, yeah. Green eggs and chili.
Wasn't
that a Dr. Seuss book?
That's green eggs and ham. Nicholas likes sirloin steak.
Yeah, yeah.
And then what is it? Oh, I'm describing chili mac. Yeah, and it's kind of sweet too, so that's really different for me. But I love food. So there's so many different foods. Here's the other thing about me is I don't believe in waiting for a special occasion or waiting for an emotion to enjoy something that I like to enjoy. So I like to eat often in little bits, but I eat a lot of things that I like all the time.
Yeah, I can agree with that one.
Yeah, Helene says no green eggs. Yeah, I don't want green eggs. I don't even know what a green egg is.
I don't either.
It's Green Eggs and Ham by Dr. Seuss you're thinking about. And while we were thinking about this topic, we were thinking of all the different songs and that are possible and all the different songs about food. There are a lot
leading up to it.
What?
Your song.
I am. He told me I wasn't allowed to do this one because he said it's not a good song. But when we had this topic, all I can think of is eat it. But, you know, from real weird Al Yankovic.
You just had to go there, didn't you?
I did, because food is so much fun, and we always think of every conversation you've been in. It always ends up being either around food, about food, or even if you're in another subject, it comes back to food. Food is our life. It's how we feed ourselves. It's how we grow. And, you know, we have people in our world that are strict vegans and some who are, you know, very strict about, you know, no gluten, you know, all these different things. And we have different types of food. What's yours? We're talking junk food, really, me and Brian right now. But
yeah, we are.
Because
I'm also thinking of, you know, when you go to an event.
How about road trip food?
Oh, there's no competition there. That's definitive.
What?
Dairy Queen.
Really?
Oh yeah, every road trip requires Dairy Queen.
Okay, well, we have another question that I can't share because it's on my page, but I'm going to have to read it in a bit. But I on the road must have, and I can't stop it. I've tried not to do it. I must have sunflower seeds. I don't know why. It's been programmed into me to have sunflower seeds.
Right.
Yeah,
Uh,
something
I've never
about
been
that.
a fan. They're too messy.
They're not messy because I'm a
And I can't
Filipino.
break them and keep them without eating the shells. So.
Filipinos, okay, this is how I grew up. You put a wad of it into your mouth and you can break it, take the seed out, and only take out the shell. I can do it all in from one cheek to the other. I can take it, eat the seed, and put the shell in the other cheek. And I'm not joking. It is something I think every Filipino knows how to do, and I don't know why. Same with watermelon seeds. I can do the same thing with watermelon seeds. But anyways, I have to read it from the other page, okay?
Okay.
He asked is there a food you are picky about? Tzatziki has to be made from yogurt rather than sour cream based. So that's his big thing is, what are you picky about? What food will you not, there is no tolerance level you will take. Do you have one?
I would say yes, but I can't think of one specifically because there's certain things that I grew up on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, whether it's a brand, I mean, I love tzatziki and I have to agree with him on that. I'm just trying, no, I'll have to think on that one. I don't know if there's anything specific that I'd have to have. I mean, there is a difference between Dairy Queen and going to McDonald's ice cream. Okay.
I can't think of a food that I have a no tolerance on it. And the only thing I can think of is I have a no tolerance for truck stop or gas station sushi. Just don't do it.
Oh, no. Yeah, sushi's got to be fresh.
Oh, wait. And Nicholas put cheese curds are good for road trips. Yes, he introduced me to cheese curds. Oh, my goodness. Yummy, yummy. There's a store out up in Woodland Park. Oh, I'm addicted.
Yeah.
Oh, and Helene says she wants me to sing, by the way.
What are you going to sing? No, eat it. What other food song can you come up with?
I love food because food is so good for you and me. There. I was just making it up. But I do. There's just so many different avenues about food and how we work it into our lives and why we avoid some things. And see, my thing is, I don't believe food is good or bad. I believe how you use it is good or bad. So I can have ice cream. I don't think that's bad. If I eat the entire gallon of ice cream, then that's probably bad. But everything in proportion, right? Everything in moderation is not bad. So I will buy, you've seen my counter of food.
Mm-hmm.
I have a trough of food, of just snacky things. And because my thing is if I'm craving something, I won't neglect myself from having it. Okay? Because if you neglect yourself from having it, then when you finally get it, you eat the whole bag. So I always have a little bit of something everywhere. And I literally am one of those crazy people who can pick up a chip, a Ruffles potato chip or something, and eat one line at a time.
What?
You've
heard about picking your Oreos apart, but
you've seen me do it. You've also seen me, I think you've seen me peel M&Ms.
There's a joke there too, but I won't say it on here.
I peel M&Ms. I will crack the shell off an M&M, eat the candy, then eat the chocolate, then eat the peanut.
I'm too lazy. I'll suck the chocolate off first. I'll let it melt in my mouth.
So then here's the other thing then. What quirk on food? Do you have a quirk about food? I know Brian's got a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, I got a few of them, but I'm also thinking of your hot dogs and waffles.
Oh, but I like hot dogs with pancakes and waffles. They're delicious.
Oh, yeah, hot dogs and pancakes. The reason I bring that one up is not just because I think it's strange to use hot dogs, but is your reason for why you like them. And that was one of the things. And there's one, it's what you grew up on, and you'll give the story, I'm sure, here in a second, probably after our commercial. But the other thing is too, is what's the one food that you will not eat because your parents made you eat it?
I've got that in my head.
So commercial first.
Okay, commercial. So it's my commercial or the real commercial? We're going to go back to the intro. Can we go back to the intro?
You're going to play the intro in here?
Because I like it. And for those of you who just tuned in, you missed it. Brian made us a new commercial, and it is pretty super cool. So thank you for watching Denim and Pearls. If you are watching live, please share this. If you're watching the replay, please share it again with a friend. And subscribe to our YouTube channel and like the page so that you know when we're coming live. And in the meantime, enjoy our new intro that Brian just created for us, because it is the bomb diggity. Here you go.
Welcome to the porch. Pull up a chair, sit back, relax, enjoy the show. Now here's your host, Michelle Barras and Brian Swanson.
Wasn't that cool? You did so well with that. I had to share that again. And just think, whenever those commercials in the mid-roll and this one show, that's normally where we will have our sponsors. So again, if you are interested in being a sponsor with the Denim and Pearls page, please, not one, there it is. Go to denimandpearlspodcast@gmail.com and please say, hey, send me a contract. I want in. I want to know what to do. And we would love to have you, because we'd love to fill your commercials in those spaces that we keep putting our commercials in. And then what?
I have to give credit though.
What?
If you look at that background image that I used for the commercial, that was actually giving credit to the videographer and the guy who kind of made that picture. He made it for something else, but I fell in love with it. It's actually over in Death Valley. Oh. And Jason Gray is over there with his wife, who is a ranger and a forest ranger and stuff like that. And he shot that and then edited, and I stole it.
Oh, you stole it?
I stole it after I called him.
Okay, so that's not stealing. I was like,
oh, wait a minute. I actually used it first, and then I called him and said I'm going to use it, and he said I could.
Okay, good. Yes, Helene says Reese's peanut butter cups. Yes.
I've got one for that.
Really?
They've got new ones out now. And they're big cup Reese's, and they're filled with pretzels. Oh.
Sweet and sour? Sweet and salty.
Sweet and salty. Yes.
Okay. I've got to share my quirk with food. Okay. My quirk with food. There is one thing that I eat when I'm sad. I mean, like when I'm really, really sad and I'm missing my family. And growing up, my big sister took care of me a lot. And she would invent food. And so what she would do, because we're a family of, we had 6 kids and we're living in the Philippines, and she would take hot dogs and get very creative. Well, I was kind of a picky eater. And so she had to make things really interesting for me. So she would make toad in the hole, when you make toast and you crack an egg and you fry the egg in the bread and you fry the egg built into the toast. She would do those things and put paprika so it'd be pretty for me. I had to have pretty food. And then the other thing she made for me, which now that I look back, now that I'm 52, when I look back, is kind of morbid, but it worked for me. She would take the hot dogs. I need a pen. I need something. And she would slice the top of the hot dog, and then she would slice a little slit on each side. Then she would slice like a whole bunch of little lines here. And then she would do another one where she'd slice just one and do the same things. And then she'd put it in the water and boil them, and they would spring out, and they would have eyes and hair and little arms and the skirt. And then she would put them on bread, and she'd put mayonnaise. And then she'd put the hot dogs on top of the bread and the mayonnaise. And then she'd put the blanket on them because they're going to go to bed, because the lettuce was the blanket. And then she'd put a tomato to put the little blanket on, the heated blanket on them. And then she'd put another piece of bread on, and then I'd bite their heads off.
Oh, you had to take it to that level, did you?
So now I'm thinking, Man, I was a warped little girl. She would get me to eat by making them look like humans. I'm like, that's kind of wrong.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Nicholas brings up balut. I don't think that's necessarily a comfort food.
I like balut.
It's not a comfort food, though, is it?
No, it's a drinking food. So in the Philippines, when you're drinking heavily. Balut is all protein. So it's a unfertilized duck egg, and it's partially developed, and you eat it warm, and you eat it when you're drinking. But yeah, that is not a comfort food. And if any Filipino tells you it's a comfort food, they're messing with you.
They've got issues. That's for sure.
What do you mean? Wait. Nathan just says, what do you mean was a picky eater?
Oh.
Right. I'm actually still picky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my other thing is too that I like, and my mom brought this up to me a long time ago. One sandwich that she used to make, and I never liked it, was Braunschweiger and onions with mustard or mayonnaise.
Is that like leberwurst?
Kind of, yeah. It's basically the same thing. I never really liked that, but what I did steal from her is peanut butter and salami, or peanut butter and bologna sandwiches. Now that, and especially a bologna sandwich, and if the bread's a little stale, you can like dunk it in your milk. That's probably my childhood memory.
Okay, because one of my favorite childhood memories was, again, my sister. Oh, my grandfather too. My sister used to make me fried bologna sandwiches with the crispy edges. That was yummy.
I never had fried bologna until I was much older.
I love fried bologna. But the thing that makes my heart melt whenever I go home to my family is my grandfather always made me a fried over easy egg. He and my grandmother have been the only ones who can ever make it that way. I've never tasted it the same again. And since they both have passed, I've never had it again. I cannot duplicate whatever love they did to it. It's just a fried egg, but it's a fried egg and it's crispy just around, and it was hot in the center, but still, and she would, both of them, grandpa or grandma, would put it over a hot thing of rice, and I would mix it into my rice, and it was heaven to me. And to this day, I still cannot make it taste like that. I don't know what they did. It just tastes like an egg.
Aside from that one, have you ever noticed there's certain things that, like mom used to make fried chicken. I can't make fried chicken to match hers to save my life. So I just won't do it. There's certain things that our parents or our aunt or our grandmothers or something, or grandfathers, whatever, that they used to make, and you can make the same thing and it's just not the same. And you lose out on, maybe it's the aroma, but the flavor's different. I don't know what it is.
I honestly think it's the love.
You think so?
I think it's love. Yeah. It's an egg. And Nathan promises me that when we go visit him in Oregon, he's going to make me that egg. He'll bring that memory back for me. Okay. I'm holding you to that, Nathan. Now, I think it's love. I think there was a tie to the emotional state that you had when you were a kid with that food, just like, the anti-emotional state that I have with liver and onions. No. Oh my gosh. I can't even be in the room with liver and onions. And I think it's because growing up, it was a chore. When I first had, I went, and my family said, you will sit there and eat it.
Yeah.
And I went, and so I sat there, and I'm stubborn. If you hadn't,
mom took me on that for liver and onions. She took me to, I was allowed to eat just the meat. I didn't have to eat the onions.
I would eat the onions, but the meat I didn't like.
Yeah, I had no problems with the meat.
Oh.
However, the one things that I did have, fried green tomatoes.
Those are good.
Don't care for those. Don't the nasty in the middle.
Have you had a 100-year egg?
Can't say I've ever heard of a 100-year egg.
Chinese tradition, yeah.
Oh,
fermented egg. It's been buried in the ground.
Ew.
No, it's actually pretty good, but it's different.
And then the other one that I totally despise is stuffed green peppers.
Oh, I love stuffed green peppers.
And it don't matter if it's the rice, if it's the meat, it doesn't matter what you use in it. No.
The reason I don't like green onions, liver and onions, is because that night that they wanted me to eat it, and they told me I would stay at the table until I finished eating it. I sat at the table from 6 p.m. till the bus came and got me the next day. And when I came home, it was waiting for me. I mean, I think I had to eat it for 3 days. I would not eat it.
Well, let's see who was most stubborn. Was it you or the parents?
I got it from somebody.
Yeah, I think we all have our sweet treats. We all have the things that we like, the things we don't like. I mean, there's stuff that are regional that are totally different than other things. But it all comes down, and if we turn this into a business concept, at least just a tiny bit like we did at the beginning.
Yes.
Food can take you so many different places.
It takes you to an emotional state.
Yes, it does. And when it comes to doing business, when it comes to creating those friendships in order to create business, food can be that cohesion that just brings it all together. That magnet that says, okay, we're sharing, we're breaking bread, we're whatever. And I think that's why we do so many of those networking events, which has food in it. Usually it's because it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon and we all need to eat. But, there's something about going to an event like your speaker events and different things like that we're working on. You still have to eat. And people say, okay, well, the learning is over for the moment. Let's get lunch together. Mm-hmm. And there's so much more behind that than just the fact that we're putting food in our bellies.
Well, yeah, like we were talking today, with all the different experiences we have with food, the emotional states that are tied. That's why it's important when you're meeting someone as a client or whatever, or a potential love interest, you find out what they're interested in, because it gives you a bond. It breaks the ice. Instead of doing, okay, everybody, everybody touch your nose and touch your friend's nose, those kind of break sessions to make people get comfortable with each other. Food does that. When you meet people over the salad bar, you meet people, at the steak cutting thing, whatever it is. Oh, Nathan says I have to kick you off the show for saying you don't like bell peppers.
No bell peppers for this guy.
And Helene, we will go back to food and family, because it's really what it's all about. It's in our business because it brings an emotional state to us and it helps us connect, and it helps us to connect to other people in a different level. It's out of business. It brings us into an emotional family state, food.
Right.
But
well, even as a kid, we used to do, what do they call it? Family reunions. Mm-hmm. I don't know if people do family reunions anymore. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen one, but doing family reunions, there's that special thing that my Aunt Paula made, or something, something else that somebody else made, and it always brought it. I mean, like, one of the things that I always think of is lime jello with shredded carrots and cabbage. Okay.
Yeah,
a lot of people can't stand the thought of that. And as a kid, I couldn't stand it either, but it's for hot summer, it's very refreshing.
Oh, thinking about that, when we first met, we were talking about, I love watermelon with salt.
Yes.
Do you like watermelon with salt, people?
I don't usually use salt on it. I like to gobble it down, and especially if there's no seeds.
And see, I put salt on it because it makes it sweeter.
Yes, it does.
I love watermelon. And Jennifer Myers just wrote, or the local coffee shop. I like to meet her at the local coffee shop. Peregrine Coffee in Westcliff, Colorado. I mean, because coffee is very soothing to me. Tea is even more soothing to me. And right. I love that. And I like to gather with people over hot drinks.
Yeah. Well, you bring up watermelon and salt. The one thing that I was always taught too, or the way that somebody convinced me to finally eat tomatoes was with sugar. There's some people who use salt on tomatoes, but I was brought up to use sugar just so that I would eat the tomatoes. And that's actually really good. A nice slice of red tomato, put some sugar, sprinkle some sugar across it. Karaoke food.
Isn't that bar food?
That's bar food. That's like, fried mushrooms, mozzarella sticks.
Okay. And then Nathan said something about he's having an emotional issue with Apple, and then financial whiplash and monsters. And then he said salt on watermelon.
What? I don't know. No wonder you were looking at that funny.
I was like, okay, anyways, I think he means Apple computers, and he brought the Apple food in financial. He probably
Oh.
bought something big and fun again.
Well, I tell you what we can do since we're like really near the end of our time. Because what are we doing right after this?
We are, I know for those of you who don't have an iPhone, you're going to get upset about this, but we're trying on jumping on a room in Clubhouse at 1:00 to just keep talking. And what it would be is basically it's an open porch. You come on, we bring everybody on to talk, and we just openly talk about food.
We're gonna just talk.
Or whatever we want to talk. It's the porch.
Exactly. We're gonna make a virtual porch out of the program Clubhouse.
Oh, Nicholas brought something real quick. Yeah, so come to Clubhouse and find Brian and I. We scheduled something
and find out what the heck Nathan means by that.
Yeah, because Nathan will be on.
So what are you oohing about?
Well, Helene said if you cross the room and you have a loved one on the other side, you are having a family reunion. She's right. Family reunions happen often. I'm from a clan from the Philippines, so there's like a good 400 of us. So when we have a family reunion, we actually have to plan it, get reservations on airplanes to get us all there, and reserve an entire resort to fit us, because that's just the family siblings. We're not even counting the kids upon the kids upon the kids. So there's a lot of us. But
you can only go so far down the tree.
Well, my mother and my grandmother were having children at the same time, so we're all the same age.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So we have a ball when we're together. But Nicholas says holiday foods like Peeps Christmas cookies. I want to ask about that, because we all have that one thing that we just love and we can't pull away from our diet. What is the one thing from your holiday that you love? Something that you really, really must have?
I know the answer to that one. That's called Buckeyes.
Buckeye beans?
Nope. You take peanut butter and you mash it up with powdered sugar, graham crackers, roll it in a ball, take milk chocolate, melt it in with a little bit of paraffin, dip the peanut butter ball into the chocolate, and then refrigerate it, and you have what's called a Buckeye.
Oh.
Because if you ever look at a Buckeye nut, it's dark on the outside with a small brown center. And that's from up here. And I used to make them all the time, but my kids are old enough now, they make them for me. Because you got to stir that batter, that peanut butter and those graham crackers and that powdered sugar together, Yeah, so Buckeyes for Christmas.
Buckeyes for Christmas. And with me, it's my gravy for Thanksgiving. I make a gravy that's pretty much stew in itself. I mean, it's pretty masterful, and I cook it for 4 days. My family does not know what to do if I don't make it for Thanksgiving, because it's what makes it for us. And then at Christmas time, it's my husband's cheesecake, or his rum cake. Oh, bomb diggity. Now, Nathan, no, we do not have our family reunions nowadays because of COVID. Yes, we would be in jail, I know. But when we are allowed to go together, the thing is the COVID restrictions would prevent my own family from being together.
Yeah.
I'm from a family of 8.
Unless you're visiting. Well, never mind. That gets political. I'm sorry.
Yes. Yeah. So once we visit in Walmart, we cannot get together. But anyways, think about the food and what in your world makes you feel good. Because one of the things I always go to around starting in the cold months is I always eat cottage cheese with a scoop or 2 of cranberry sauce. I don't know why, but it's when I want it. Just like in the summer, I eat nothing but watermelon. I have these periods where I eat very specific food for a very long period of time, just like I listen to music for the same album for a very long period of time. I don't know, I get comfortable in it, and then I like it for a while, and then I'll completely switch. So what in your world do you do with food? We always know that Brian will always go to peanut butter. And if the world comes to an end, he will have jars of peanut butter.
My daughter even bought me a peanut butter spoon for Christmas.
Bless you.
So, all right, we should probably call it a day so we can get things wrapped up and get over to Clubhouse. The neat thing about Clubhouse is you have to have an invitation. If you have an iPhone and need an invitation, definitely talk to Michelle and I. But they are used very sparingly because you only earn so many invitations per something, and we will figure out what that is. But it'll be a great conversation. We're going to take a porch to the technical porch and have a little bit of fun right after this. So anyhow,
yeah, we're playing. And Helene says she'll know not to eat the next time she comes to watch Denim and Pearls because she's laughing out loud. Yes. Success. Thank you so much for joining us, every one of you. Thank you so much. And please do share this with a friend, because more people need to join us on the porch and have some real conversation about just stuff that makes your life matter, our lives matter, things that make us smile, and some things that make you go,
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm Brian Swanson.
My name is Michelle Moroz. We are Denim and Pearls, business casual
with pearls of wisdom
from the proverbial porch. Until next week, Friday at noon, I hope you'll see us then on Facebook or our YouTube page, or better yet, if you have Clubhouse, come join us there. We're about to be there at 1:00 Mountain Standard Time. Until then, peace.